Hey, how's it going, everybody? I just want to talk about fire safety plans and how to make one for your house. And I know a lot of people sometimes get confused with this. Um, they end up, not knowing, how to do fire safety plans. My name's Am, and I work at Fire Plan. We do fire safety plans for commercial buildings. We never do them for houses, but just wanted to give you guys an example. If you're ever trying to create one, all you need to do is really draw your layout of your of your floor plan. And one thing I think people struggle with is they always think about, okay, I don't really know how to draw, and I'm not really looking, I don't really know what, I don't know how to draw anything out. So, or you suck at art. I'm horrible at art, and but one thing I notice is that whenever you're doing a drawing or a building, what you want to do is you want to do it in a way it's just squares. If you look at your house, it's just boxes. Every room's a box normally, and sometimes it notches out a little bit, but overall it's just a box. So if you start off with just drawing squares of all your rooms and just connect them, it doesn't have to be perfect. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that you get the doorways and the windows for your fire exiting planning, and also you want to know where your fire extinguishers are. For me, one of the things when I'm at my house, which with COVID now we're all working from home, but one of the things I've done is I've always put a fire extinguisher upstairs, in the hallways, closet, and I have one in the kitchen, and I have one in the garage. And those are normally great places to have them. They're accessible, and it could be a place where you might have to deal with a fire. So those are some of the tips I would say, is that those are places where you want to have the fire extinguishers. And if you have kids, the great way to do that is, when you're drawing your map out of all the fire escape routes, explain to your kids what to do in case of a real fire. Because sometimes they need to know simple things about fire safety planning, like touching the door handle, because remember, when you wake up in the middle of the night and the alarm goes off, everybody's in a panic. So you want to try to teach kids, and I do that with my kids. I show them where the fire extinguishers. Not that I don't want them, um, that I want them to be able to fight a fire, but I want them to be aware and what something looks like and why, because it shows them that's important. My kid's a little bit more advanced, just because we're in the fire safety planning business. But it's great to just show your kids what each of those things do. And what it also does is it encourages them not to play with it, because you could have a kid that's very curious. So it's great in that way. Um, so really, when you're drawing your layout, just be aware that where all your exits are. If you live in like if you live in a complex, what I would do to even do is look for where all the fire exits are in your complex through the stairwells. If you're in like a condo or a townhouse, you won't really have this problem. But if you're in a condo or apartment buildings, just be aware of all your fire exits, because sometimes what people start doing is they start stacking, hoarding a whole bunch of stuff in their fire hallway, but there should be nothing in those hallways. So just maybe bringing that up to the property management group, or even like the strata, and just making sure that people aren't thinking that that's extra storage in there. Because I've gone to buildings where they never use the fire exit, or they use the elevator for everything. So what's happened is people have started using the staging area, and this really happens really when there's like one suite per floor. Um, so it's not as common now as it used to happen before, but it does still happen where you'll see two suites that share just one stairwell, and they've kind of started using that as like a little storage or a place to put some junk. Just being aware that those need to be cleared out, and you know, having a fire safety plan doesn't always mean that you need to draw everything out where everything is. It's just really common talking to your kids about how a fire happens, what to do if they can't find you, how to touch a door handle. And YouTube is great because you can find all these tips in YouTube. And what it does for you is like I teach my kids all the time through YouTube because it shows them live examples of where where all this stuff, you can show them what a fire looks like. You can show them how a fire extinguisher is being used on YouTube. You can also show them, about, safety tips for a fire. Because remember, especially like, our kids normally don't sleep in the same room as us. So we want to make sure that we are giving them, we're giving them the guidance of what to do when they can't really come for you. Imagine if you have a full fire and you are unconscious or something happens. We need to teach them how to open a door, how to check the hallways to make sure there's no fire outside, what to do if they can't get out. So those are some of the things that you want to look at. What we'll try doing in the next video is we'll try covering some of those things. But don't stop today. YouTube is some of that stuff. You can always find great tips from fire departments, for fire officials, and to be honest with that, that's where we get most of our tips out, from a fire safety planning wise. Thanks a lot, and if you have any more questions, or if you're in Vancouver, BC, and you're looking for a fire safety planning company, feel free to reach us at getfireplan.com. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.